Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're diving into a really fascinating story, actually. It's about Toby Brown.
Right, the 16-year-old from Twickenham in London.
Exactly. He hasn't even finished secondary school, but he's managed to secure $1 million investment for his AI startup.
Beem, it's called. And the money's from South Park Commons in Silicon Valley.
Yeah, and they're known for backing some pretty big disruptive names like Anthropic and Imbue.
It's quite the achievement. It really highlights how, age isn't necessarily the barrier it once was in tech, especially when you have real drive and a genuinely innovative idea.
Absolutely. And his background is pretty remarkable, too.
Oh, yeah. He started coding when he was just 7 years old. 7.
Wow.
Which, points to a pretty serious natural aptitude, I'd say.
And then he got involved with Hack Club.
That's right. By 13, he was already part of the leadership there. And Hack Club, for those who don't know, it's this global thing encouraging kids to get creative with coding.
So he was immersed in that tech world really early on.
Definitely. And you can see how that foundation, that sort of early experience, likely shaped his thinking for Beam. I remember reading about one of his early projects, maybe when he was 12.
Oh, yeah.
A text-based adventure game, apparently quite sophisticated, showed a good grasp of user interaction, not just coding chops.
Interesting. And it seems like Apple, especially the iPhone's impact, really influenced his vision for Beam, that focus on the user.
Very much so. He talks about that user-centric design, applying that kind of intuitive feel to AI.
Okay, so let's break it down. What exactly is Beam? What's it supposed to do?
Well, the idea is it's an AI-native computer. It's designed to automate all those routine, time-consuming tasks.
Like what? Emails, calendars.
Exactly. Email management, organizing your calendar, booking travel, coordinating meetings, that sort of thing.
Okay, but we have AI assistants already. What makes Beam different?
The key difference, they claim, is its proactivity. It's supposed to go beyond just reacting to your commands.
Proactive.
So Beam is engineered to proactively learn your preferences. Over time, it figures out how you like things done.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Imagine it notices you always fly a certain airline. It might start prioritizing that airline when you ask it to look up flights, maybe even before you specify.
Ah, okay.
Or it learns your typical working hours and suggests meeting times that fit naturally within your usual schedule without you having to spell it out every time.
Right, so it anticipates things based on past behavior.
Exactly. That level of anticipation, that kind of near-human autonomy, that's what they're pitching as the big step forward.
That does sound pretty different, almost like it gets to know you.
Precisely. And it raises interesting possibilities, doesn't it? Could this lead to a much more seamless interaction with our digital lives? We'll have to see.
Clearly, this vision caught some attention. That $1 million from South Park Commons is serious validation.
Absolutely.
What's the structure of that deal? It wasn't just a straight million, was it?
No, it's structured. So $400,000 up front, and then the remaining $600,000 is conditional. It depends on Beam hitting certain milestones and, crucially, raising more funding down the line.
And what did South Park Commons get in return?
They took a 7% equity stake in Beam.
Right. But, like you hinted before, it's probably about more than just the money.
Oh, definitely. This investment is also his ticket into an accelerator program in San Francisco.
Ah, so direct access to the Silicon Valley ecosystem.
Exactly. The network, the mentorship, potential partnerships, feedback,
Right.
all that is incredibly valuable, especially for a company this early stage and, for a founder so young.
That ecosystem is vital. Now, alongside this huge professional leap, he made a pretty big call on the education front, postponing his GCSEs.
Yeah, that's a significant move. GCSEs are, a major milestone in the UK school system.
Usually taken around age 16, right?
Correct. So deciding to push them back to 2026, that's not the standard path.
But his family and school were okay with it.
Apparently so. Turing House School, his school, showed quite a bit of flexibility. They allowed him to defer, not just drop out.
That reflects maybe a change in view on these things, especially in tech.
I think so. It suggests an understanding that sometimes these unique opportunities, they require a different approach. For Toby, it's clearly a strategic choice to focus everything on Beam right now.
It does make you wonder, doesn't it? Are the traditional educational timelines always the best fit for everyone, particularly in fields moving this fast?
It's a fair question.
So this decision basically freed him up to move to Silicon Valley. How's that experience been?
Well, from what we gather, it's been intense. An immersion. He's in this accelerator program, working alongside other entrepreneurs.
Learning from them, I imagine.
Exactly. Attending workshops on everything from product development to uh, growth strategies, and building that network we talked about.
Sounds invaluable, but challenging too, surely.
Oh, undoubtedly. Adapting to a new place, the sheer intensity and long hours needed to build a startup, especially at 16. It's a huge undertaking.
It's real-world learning on steroids, I suppose.
You could say that. It's experience that, arguably, you just can't get in a classroom at this stage.
Okay, so let's shift focus a bit to Beam itself. What are the immediate next steps, the short-term goals?
Right. The main focus now is on the technology, making it robust, making sure it can scale up if lots of people start using it, and making it genuinely easy to use.
So lots of testing and refinement.
Tons of it. They need to be sure it can handle a wide range of tasks reliably and adapt to different user needs.
And funding, is the initial million enough?
Likely not for the long haul. Securing more investment is definitely still a priority to fuel growth.
Makes sense. And when might we actually see something?
They're aiming to launch a beta version within the next 12 months or so.
Ah, so getting it into the hands of early users.
Yeah, exactly. To gather that crucial real-world feedback, see what works, what doesn't, and refine it before any kind of wider public release. That feedback loop is critical.
Okay, so that's the near term. What about the big picture, the long-term vision for Beam?
It's ambitious, really ambitious. The goal is to make Beam a leader, maybe the leader, in personalized AI.
So not just a niche tool.
No, he envisions it becoming something deeply integrated into millions of people's daily lives, going beyond just work tasks.
He compared it to the iPhone, right, in terms of impact.
Yeah, that analogy comes up. The idea is to create a new standard for how humans interact with AI, similar to how the iPhone changed smartphones. It's a lofty goal.
It certainly is. Is there anything else driving this vision?
Well, he also emphasizes ethical development, prioritizing user privacy, user well-being, positioning that as a core part of Beam's identity.
Which could be a smart differentiator in today's market. People are increasingly concerned about AI ethics and data privacy.
Absolutely. Gaining user trust is going to be key for any personalized AI, so focusing on ethics from the start could be very important for long-term adoption.
It's an incredible story so far. A teenager navigating Silicon Valley, building this ambitious AI.
It really is. It's a powerful example of, youthful potential in tech.
What are the main takeaways for you looking at his journey?
I think it challenges our traditional ideas about what success looks like and when it can happen. It highlights the value of practical skills, creativity, maybe even above formal qualifications in certain situations.
His ability to get that funding, to operate in that high-stakes environment at 16, it forces us to rethink assumptions about leadership and innovation.
Definitely. And there's clearly global interest now in Beam's future and in Toby's potential impact on the AI landscape.
He could certainly inspire other young entrepreneurs.
Without a doubt, showing that age doesn't have to be a barrier if you have the idea and the drive.
So maybe the final thought for you, our listeners, to ponder. How does a story like Toby Brown's change our expectations? Our own expectations about where innovation comes from and who gets to lead in this digital era?
It really does make you think about the future of talent and opportunity in a whole new way.